When news broke that Costco would be swapping out their beloved sitting tables in the food courts for new sleek standing tables, I knew it was time to hit the scene and capture the feelings of Costco's most faithful patrons. The reactions range from existential horror to unbridled enthusiasm. Here's what I found when I ambushed some of Costco's most passionate customers. Dolores, 62 years old, a coupon savant, is easy to spot, even in the crowd. She's dressed head to toe in Costco Kirkland signature attire, from the fleece vest to the orthopedic walking shoes. She's clutching her latest stack of coupons, though she's yet to realize they don't even work here. But she said, "I'm devastated. Sitting at those tables was the only time I got off my feet all week." She said that she spent 8 hours in the Costco every Wednesday, and those tables, they were my rock. They were where I'd review the monthly circular and ration out my snack samples. Wow. Dolores goes on to describe how she'd commandeer a corner table and sit there picking at her $1.50 hot dog and savoring her sample of dark chocolate-covered almonds while young whippersnappers milled around her. She said, "I'm not some kind of heathen who can stand up and eat at the same time. I might as well be an animal at that point." Now, Bradley, the power bulk lifter, 31 years old, is also a bulk buyer by his description. He takes up 2 spaces of normal people, mostly with his gym bag that he carries with him everywhere. Inside the bag, he stores a portable protein shaker and apparently a few random cans of Kirkland tuna. He's been hitting Costco every Sunday since he was a kid, or at least since they discovered they sell protein powder in 6-gallon drums. He said, "I actually think the standing tables are awesome." He told me as he pounded his fists and I backed up a bit. He said, "People sit down, they get lazy, they eat their pizza slice, they feel sleepy. They don't want to bulk up. Standing keeps you engaged, activated, right? I'm here for 3 reasons: protein bars, cheap rotisserie chickens, and the slice and soda combo. If I'm burning calories while eating them, that's called efficiency, baby." So then he flexed, and a lot of the girls turned around, but then he said maybe they could even add like a pull-up bar above each standing table. That way, if you're waiting for someone to finish microwaving their burrito, you could get a quick set in. It's actually a pretty good idea. Now, Cheryl and Ed McGinty, who call themselves the retired road warriors, they met while RVing through Florida in the late 1990s, and they've been Costco members in all 50 states. They come to the food court with a single goal: splitting a single slice of pizza, cut lengthwise, before hitting the aisles for their weekly 3-hour roam. "We're disappointed," Cheryl said, seemingly speaking so as to not to wake the baby in the stroller next to them. The baby belongs to someone else. She said, we can't stand and eat at our age. My husband just had hip surgery, for Pete's sake." And of course, Ed, his eyes looking down, he didn't look too excited. But he said, "We used to come here and sit, sometimes just looking at the back of the paper towel aisle, soaking in the ambience. If I have to stand, I might as well be walking. And walking leads to buying," which is exactly what they want. Pretty good observation. Cheryl takes his hand and she said, "It's almost like they want us to leave after we eat. It's not about the pizza. It's about belonging." Not a bad observation from those two. Now, the mysterious solo eater in the Kirkland polo, we don't know their name, but this gentleman, who declined to give his name and only wore the Kirkland signature polo, was utterly unfazed. "Standing tables are fine," he said, barely audible over the hiss of the frozen yogurt machine. "People think the sitting tables are sacred, but I don't get attached to furniture." He continued to eat his hot dog with sort of a surgical precision from what I could see, consuming it in exactly 6 bites with a napkin for each one. Wow. In fact, I don't even sit at tables, he said. I only ever lean, perfect for the new arrangement. Sitting weakens the joints and dulls the senses. Well, our conversation ended very quickly when he disappeared behind the tire center, mumbling something about bulk battery packs. So I'm not sure what happened after that. Elizabeth, 45 years old, a Costco superfan and blogger. She runs the popular Costco fan blog called Kirkland Kingdom and wears a badge she made herself that says #1 Costco Mom. Now, for her, Costco is a lifestyle, like for many people, and the food court tables are part of the experience. I'm actually in favor of the standing tables, she said, snapping a picture of her berry smoothie for her followers. Sitting just clutters up the vibe. I mean, have you seen the lines in here? We need flow. People can grab their churros, stand, eat, and keep shopping. She's even suggested to corporate that they add little racks next to each table for people's carts so that they can keep an eye on their merchandise while savoring the cuisine. She looks up from her phone and said, oh, and I'd love to see charging stations for phones and iPads at each table. People like to stay connected while they snack. Costco could sponsor the outlets. Not a bad idea. Kirkland batteries right there. Pretty good suggestion, actually. Now, Timmy, who's only 9 years old, he calls himself a hot dog purist. Wow. I stumbled across this kid with a love for Costco hot dogs that could rival his love for Saturday morning cartoons. His mom is browsing, and Timmy had the opportunity to talk about the $1.50 hot dogs and fountain drink. He said, this stinks. This was his opinion on the standing things. He said, this stinks. I can't hold my hot dog and my soda and eat standing up. What am I supposed to do, grow more arms? When I asked him if he'd consider a seatless food court the next time he visits, he shrugged. Look, they don't make sitting tables for the tall people like my dad, but they're fine for me. And anyway, if I can't sit down, where am I supposed to hide under the table when I spill mustard? See, you got to get everybody's opinion. This is a different look at it. He said sometimes you just need a hiding spot, you know. I understand. So Doug, 47 years old, who said he's a supply chain analyst, his whole mind is a warehouse itself, stocked to the ceiling with data and logistical theories. As a supply chain analyst who only buys his groceries in bulk, he seemed oddly energized by the standing table news. Absolutely genius move, he told me, practically vibrating with excitement. Settle down, man. Think of the throughput, he told me. The sitting tables invite loitering. Eating in the standing position will practically double the customer churn rate. Wow. They've finally tapped into the efficiency of the human body. Now, Doug leaned over his soda and whispered conspiratorially, people think the standing tables are just a cost-cutting measure, but I know it's all part of Costco's larger plan to streamline operations. The savings on janitorial upkeep alone, massive. Imagine how much quicker people will scarf down their pizza slice without a chair to sink into. It's brilliant, really. Now, he stood in line 3 more times to support this whole idea of the churn. Then you have the interns, Carla, Brad, and Ashanti. They're all in their young 20s. They're seasonal employees. Now, when I met them, they were on break, munching on churros and looking for too chipper for Costco's fluorescent lighting. Standing tables? Carla exclaimed. Ooh, cool. It'll be like we're at some swanky lounge, like a tapas bar, but with bigger portions. And then Brad, he chimed right in there. Totally. Who needs to sit anyway? Half our day is standing and lifting. What's a few more minutes at the food court? Plus, it'll mean less mess for us to clean up. I mean, people literally stack napkins under the tables when they're done. Now, Ashanti was just right in on top of them, smiling and saying, it's kind of futuristic, like Costco is moving forward or something. Maybe someday they'll even go tableless. Whoa.